I promise I wasn't searching for it. All I was looking for was that fucking piece Zara claimed she'd clipped for me. Her voice had been bright and chirpy, even as she read some lifestyle article on mindfulness, or whatever she thought I needed to hear. "It's under the stack on the kitchen counter," she'd said, sipping her oat milk latte like we hadn't just fought the night before. Fought about something that doesn't even matter anymore. That's when I noticed it. A big envelope, gold-trimmed, heavy. Lettering designed to make you feel like you've been selected, summoned, like royalty being called to court. I knew it wasn't meant for me even before I saw the name. Zara had tucked it behind an issue of Architectural Digest, probably assuming I wouldn't notice. But I did. The corner poked out awkwardly like the envelope itself was trying to escape. The seal was already broken. In that moment, curiosity felt, less like betrayal and more like a right. So I carefully slid it out, like I'd done it 100 times before. The Hollingsworth crest, oak leaves gilded, Latin arrogance etched in fine calligraphy, an annual cruise, for legacy, for success. I didn't need to read more. I already knew what it was. Every year in Bernard's latest display of power, Zara's father charters a yacht. He handpicks. The guests, the winners, the shareholders, the rainmakers. It's not a celebration. It's a hierarchy dressed in champagne and formal wear, and I was never on the list. When Zara and I first married, I was still buried in corporate law. 6 figures, navy suits, predictable moves. Bernard respected that, at least enough to pretend, but when I quit to launch my own company, when I swapped my corner office for a garage and a dream, he called it a hobby, said I was selling hot dogs from a cart. Zara never corrected him. She just smiled, nodded, and changed the subject. Eventually, I stopped talking, stopped trying. But what they never saw, what they never asked about, was what I was quietly building. What started as coffee-stained sketches became products, patents, partnerships, a startup that became 30 engineers strong, a garage that became global. While Bernard raised glasses at fundraisers, I raised rounds with investors. While Marielle bragged about influencers, I was closing deals across 3 time zones. While Trevor tweeted about blockchain like he invented it, I was restructuring teams on overnight flights. In that kitchen, I had written the architecture for a software platform now licensed in 6 countries. So no, seeing the invite didn't hurt. It just confirmed they still hadn't seen who I'd become. Then I smelled her perfume. Chanel. Before I saw her heels clicking across the hardwood, Zara paused when she saw the envelope in my hand. "Oh," she said, light, like it didn't matter. "That's just something Dad sends out every year. Probably forgot to update the mailing list." "You hid it," I said. "I didn't hide it," she shot back. "I just didn't think." "It was worth it." She flinched, dropped her purse on the counter. "Jamie," she said, leaning against the island like we were debating movie night, "you know these trips are curated. Dad wants a certain energy. It's about presentation, not exclusion. Optics," I replied. She looked away, played with a ring she wasn't wearing. Didn't argue. It tasted like rust in my mouth. I nodded, said nothing more, because they had already written their version of me, and nothing I said would change the script. I was the guy Zara married a long time ago. The one who never quite fit, not because I wasn't ambitious, but because I had the wrong kind of ambition. I watched her walk away, her silhouette fading like a ghost in expensive shoes. And in that silence, I didn't feel anger or sadness. I felt ready. What Zara didn't know, what none of them bothered to ask, was that I'd been working with a private firm for months, not for investment, for acquisition. I had bought the very yacht Bernard chartered for this cruise, quietly, through a shell company, rebuilt it, renamed it, staffed it with my crew. The guest list, approved. My name, not on it, which was fine. Because the yacht wasn't leaving the marina for Bernard's legacy cruise this year, it was leaving for mine. Not for the heirs, not for the champagne class, but for the builders, the overlooked, the underestimated. I looked at the invite again, smiled, folded it carefully, and tossed it in the recycling. They thought I wouldn't show. But I wasn't just attending, I was at the helm. My phone buzzed. Zara. I almost didn't answer, but something about the timing made me pause. She knows I'm not one for early calls. She gets the sunrise yoga sessions. I get the moonlight grind, but now, before 8 a.m., she was calling. Jamie, she said. A pause. Tense. Practiced. Hey! Then, so, Dad thinks this might be not long, but it would be best if you didn't listen to this one. I raised the phone. Come again? This year's guest list, she continued, is carefully chosen. We just want to keep the image clean. Optics. Again. The same excuse they gave when I left my firm, when I started wearing sneakers to dinner, when I stopped earning by the hour and started earning by the outcome. Bernard once offered me a consultancy gig just to keep me on a leash. I never took it. Now they were using the same language to erase me. I didn't respond right away. Let it hang. Thanks for the confirmation, I said. Calm. Even. Jamie, don't be like, it's okay. I cut her off. Not angry. Just finished. Another pause. She knew. She'd said too much. And I wasn't just hurt anymore. I was ready. All right, she whispered. I'll see you when I get back. I hung up. And I moved. Sunlight spilled across the floor. I tapped the desk. Brought the screen to life. Bernard thought the yacht was still his. Didn't know the acquisition paperwork had been signed and sealed 2 months ago. Didn't know I'd renamed the ship. Didn't know I had. A full AV team, cameras and chandeliers, microphones by the gangway, every moment, documented, not for revenge, for clarity, to show them what it looks like. When the man they dismissed holds the keys to their kingdom. Kira, my assistant, knocked once on the glass wall. It's done, she said. The official Hollingsworth itinerary is outdated. They don't know, she raised an eyebrow. You sure about this? I nodded. The plan wasn't a plan anymore. It was reality. I'm just going to show them how wrong they were, I said, standing. By that afternoon, it was showtime. I reviewed. The final checklist in the back of my SUV, parked near the marina, not petty. This was punctuation. A period at the end of every ignored sentence. The yacht, sovereign, gleamed in the sun. Fully staffed. Fully mine.